Fight talk. So UFC 325 just happened, which was Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. Cracking fight. I thought Volk had controlled the entire time. Volk doing just what Volk has always done, even just being so little, being such an underrated boxer, slick, has knows when to time shots, can put combinations together, knows when to shoot, just all around just perfect game plan by Volk once again, and I thought it would be the same time or the second time around. I didn't think much would change. It feels like they just fought a few months ago, really, but Diego had his moments, caught Volk and had a flash knockdown. That was fucking scary. I love Diego Lopez, but Volk's my guy. Who was bro? See, that card. I don't know. It was good, but it was missing that wow fight. And not to say that Volk versus Diego isn't a wow fight, but yeah, I can't even. Who was the fucking co-main? I can't even think of who it was. Whatever. Waldo Cortez, I think. Fuck, dude, now I look like a casual. Can't remember his name. Waldo Cortez versus Derek Lewis. Waldo Cortez. I know black. Imposible. My brother. Very happy for you. You got very lucky. I thought you were controlling the fight anyway with, your jab, but very lucky that Derek Lewis slipped. He always has that, that torque, that one punch power to put you out just like that, even late in the fight, as we saw with Volkov. And just didn't happen. This time he slipped. Seemed like a lot of people were slipping that night. It's maybe something to look into. UFC billion-dollar company. UFC 324. I know the main fight, Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. Not gonna lie, was very unimpressed. Justin didn't look like his usual self. In my opinion, I thought his boxing looked extremely, extremely sloppy. Power was there. He looked just a bit sloppy, He just looked a fair bit sloppy, and whatever. In retrospect, in the grand scheme of it, they both get fucked up by Arman and Ilya in about 2 rounds, both of them. Paddy, horrible. I didn't rate his stand-up that much to begin with. I thought he had better hands than that. And to be extremely fair to Paddy the Baddy, put up some great combinations, some great reads, that uppercut, knowing that Justin was always going to duck his head down low, getting those downward combinations good, but just fucking the neck on Justin Gaethje, man, that motherfucker could lift a plane with that fucking neck, you know what I'm saying? Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. Robbery. Gonna say it right there. Robbery. Song Yadong controlled, I would say, 11 out of 15 minutes of that fight. At least. With his pace. Sean just didn't have an answer. And, he had some success in that final round. And, a little bit in the second. Wasn't enough. It just wasn't. And you know what it is? Now that 135 is a lot more open, and there's more possibilities, with that Jan and Sean rematch, it's like they want to push it, White House card, Americans, and it just pisses me off because I know it's going to happen, and another undeserved title shot for Sugar Sean O'Malley. Less than convincing performance by Sean, man. And a lot of people saying, oh, vintage Sean back. No, bro. Vintage Sean put out Aljo. One punch, bro. No, bro. Vintage Sean. Knee up the fucking jaw to Cheeto, bruh. And he did do that against Song Yadong. But Song Yadong is a different animal than Cheeto, man. He's different. I just thought Song Yadong did way more than enough. And they did him dirty. Anyways. Shakir Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez went about as exactly as everyone thought it would. Shakir Stevenson, I've been saying this, for probably over a year now or longer. Best defense in the game, man. There was no doubt about it in my mind after that William Zepeda fight. Best defense in the game. Fucker never gets hit. 6 punches average landed for Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez, former undisputed champion at 140, I believe. Beat Lomachenko. And he just didn't have an answer. Teo, I'm sorry, bro. You're gonna need to get a new trainer, man. Your pops sounded drunk, didn't really give you any great advice. You gotta hit him, bro. Like, come on, bro. Jose Rayo versus the Torres guy. I apologize, I forgot his first name. Great fight. Jose Rayo looked slick, looked good. Definitely a lot better than he looked against Russell. And I hope he can continue this because he started slow, did get cut, but ultimately in those later rounds figured out his range, figured out his slickness, was fighting his fight, and he came out with the win. And you know what? He deserved the win. And I guess that's it for about now. So yeah. Tune in next time.